It is our last day in UBUD and it is the first time I'm talking to the camera. Once again, I am really bad at this whole vlogging thing. I feel like it's easy getting the little snippets, but then I always forget to sit down and talk or talk in public, which I really struggle to do. I feel really awkward. Anywho, welcome to UBUD. Now, while we are here in UBUD, we are going to be going to the rice terraces, going to Cretya, the day club and the pool, and where they have the swings and everything in the restaurants. We are also going to be exploring, you know, going to some nice restaurants and some cafes, but also experiencing some more low-key places. Another thing is we are doing the Mount Batur mountain trek. We've already done it, but it was great. We highly recommend it. We went with Batur Trekking and we had Ketut as our tour guide, and he was amazing. He was really sweet. The breakfast was great. He was always wanting to get photos for us, which was really cool. Another thing we did was we hired a scooter so that we could go see some waterfalls, and we also went to the Tirta Empul temple. I don't know if that's right, but it's the temple where you do the purification. What else did we do? We went to Merlins, the restaurant, which was like a magic themed restaurant. That was really cool. Yeah, I feel like we did a good balance of like relaxing here and a good balance of doing activities. If you've been following along for the Bali series, I guess you could call it, I just like to say thank you so much. I've been trying to, you know, edit while I go, but it's kind of hard because you want to explore, and then by the time you get back to the room at night time, you're kind of tired and you just want to go to bed. So they're coming out a bit slower than I thought, but yeah, thank you so much for sticking around. Like and subscribe so that you can keep watching, because I'll also be uploading the Canggu vlog, and then I'm also going back to Luwak, so we'll be filming another one of those. Thank you so much, and keep watching along the Bali series. Where? I bet you my guy doesn't pee pee or poo. Dude, Robbie, I bet you he can talk to dolphins. it is Nene from the future. I'm in Canggu, but I'm editing the UBUD vlog, and I thought that there were a few things that I should mention about the trip. Now, first things first is Bali, Instagram versus reality. I'll start off with the Mount Batur Trek. You would have seen that on the way up, it is really, really busy. There are jeeps everywhere, there are people everywhere. You're often having to stop while, like, on the way up, and you can't walk as fast as you're wanting to because there are so many people. And when you're at the top, you're sort of almost like fighting for a spot to try and get the shot. So I feel like that's just something that you should be aware of. Another thing, UBUD is like famous for the swings, the Bali swings, that you like pay for and you get your photo on. You will have to line up for for ages, almost no matter where you go. But saying that, I would look around, like if you really want to get that photo, which to me I think is a little pointless, but if you really do want to get that photo, there are so many places that offer them. There's like over 10 in Bali, and some of them don't get any business. So like we found a random one by mistake and there was not a single person there. But if you go to Cretya, the Seeking Rice Terrace, there's like people waiting for well over an hour just to get that shot. So if that's something you want to actually get, then maybe look around, because at the end of the day the view is pretty similar. It's just a rice terrace. Another thing, I've got my little notes page here. Trying to be productive. What's another thing? Oh, Cretya. Cretya is a great day club. It's got a really cool view, but it's overcrowded and it's stinky.
Right.
Do you agree?
It's not that stinky.
It's kind of stinky. It's stinky. Okay, so I'm just saying, it's cool. I'm glad we went. We got to explore, we got to walk around. You can walk through the rice terraces, you can look at the statues and all that stuff. But yeah, it's overrated. Now, what else? Oh, yes, the temple. So we went to Tirta, Empul, Purification water temple, and we accidentally went on the day of the full moon, which we didn't realize is actually a huge deal for the Balinese locals. It's a really big deal. So because of that, not only did you have all of the tourists, the spiritual tourists who were there because of the full moon, you also have pretty much every Balinese local who, you know, wants to go. So we went at midday, which was a huge mistake. So it was really busy. You're sort of standing in there and it kind of takes away from the experience. I went there like for, I guess, a spiritual reason. Like I wanted to pray, I wanted to open my mind up to different things. I wanted to be purified. Like I wanted to go through that process. But I didn't really know what I was doing. There were so many people, and there were a lot of people who were just like not taking it seriously, which kind of like ruined the experience a little bit. So I'd say go on a day that's not busy. A lot of people say on Monday's really good, but if that lines up with a full moon, then you're kind of screwed. Next one. All right. Another thing to note, in Bali, you get what you pay for. So yes, you can do Bali on the cheap. You can do Bali, you know, with a more expensive sort of budget. Go to all the Instagram places, which we've actually been doing a lot of, just because like that's sort of what I want to do. That's what we want to do. And we have gone to a few places for breakfast and lunch that are like really cheap. We'll see the menu, I'm like, oh, okay. But then when those plates come out, or when you watch the service or the kitchen or whatever it is, you'll realize why it's cheap. If you're finding a good deal and it's really cheap, there's 100% a reason for it. So you do get what you pay for when you go to those nice Instagram, like Western owner sort of places. Now, another thing is when you are walking around as a solo female, for the most part, Bali's really safe, but you do still need to keep your wits about you, because like as an example, I went into like a supermarket and on the way in, someone like a older like man, like, well, not older, but he was in his 40s or something, sort of like made like really long eye contact with me. I didn't really think anything of it. When I came out, he started like talking to me, asking me where I was from, complimented me or whatever, and I was like, oh, thank you, and like walked off. I walked down the road like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, and then I stopped to look at a menu, and the minute I stop, he like appears from behind me, and then he's like, yeah, you're really beautiful, I'm a photographer, like, do you live here? And I'm like, no, I don't live here. He's like, how long are you here for? And he's like, yeah, I'm a photographer, like, come back to my place, I'll take photos of you. And I'm like, first of all, gross. Second of all, he was following me for 10 minutes. I didn't even know. So, and I like to think that for the most part I'm quite perceptive, but I would just say, just keep your eyes, like your wits about you. Like, you know, just if you're walking around in the dark, or if you're gonna go down an alleyway, maybe just don't, you know? So just look after yourself. Another thing I would like to mention is Bali is also like home of, I guess, like, it's a very spiritual place, and I think they really market that towards Aussies and Americans and Europeans and just foreigners in general. So because of that, there's a lot of yoga studios, and I wish that I did a little bit more yoga when I was in UBUD. Like, there's a really gorgeous place called Yoga Barn, and I really wish that I went there. But you can find yoga all over Bali, especially in UBUD. It's really the home of it. So definitely like book those classes in. We've done 3 yoga classes so far, and we've only done gentle yoga flows for like beginners, and it's still been great. So definitely book those in. Try to find a good deal, because usually like the average price we found is 15 Australian dollars, or like 150 IDR. That seems to be the average. Oh yeah, another thing to note, I made the mistake of booking our place in the center of UBUD. Now, it's good if you want to walk around and do lots of shopping and go to lots of restaurants, but if you want to go on adventures and you want to go to the waterfalls and you want to go to Mount Batur and you want to go to Yoga Barn, whatever it is, you're going to struggle, because a lot of the time you're going to be taking cars if there's more than one of you, because if you're going 2 hours out at UBUD Centre, you're not going to be on a scooter with 2 people. So I'd just like to mention, like, there's so many cars in UBUD, which causes more traffic. So stay slightly out of the centre, because you can always drive in semi-close and then walk the rest of the way. But trying to get out of the centre is actually really difficult. So keep that in mind when you're booking. Learn from my mistake. But once again, if you're wanting to walk everywhere and just like quickly walk to dinner, like it's really handy. Yeah, I believe that's it. There's probably a few more things that I could tell you, but I feel like I've been there, done that, forgotten about it. Now I'm in Canggu, now I'm thinking about other stuff. So those are my notes. Hopefully if you do go to UBUD, that is helpful, but I will continue the vlog.
course we hit up the bookstore. Robbie found the boyfriend too. Big up your Robbie. Big up Verity.
Alright, I'd just like to outro this vlog, so thank you so much for watching. It was a short one, but I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.